Hey, welcome to C&T Collectibles. I'm Chad.
And I am Tom.
All right, great. And today we're going to go over kind of a weekly roundup. We'll just do this on a weekly basis because we have fun with it and maybe people find it useful. But we're going to just review some of the more widely held cards in the hobby and just kind of see what they're doing, see if we should buy, sell, hold. And for us, we just buy and hold, but maybe other people are looking to sell, and hopefully we can help you out a little bit. And so we're going to start out with what we call our Mr. Beast Index.
And this is just the best thing we could find, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully it's not the best thing. This is what we found without putting a lot of thought into it. And so we've got a lot of the widely held. We've got a couple of the goats. We've got a couple of young guns here. And so hopefully it's a decent mixture here. Not a great index by any stretch. And this is not buy or sell information. But yeah, let's just see what we see in baseball card land. And we'll start off with the goat, the M in Mr. Beast. And that is
Mike Trout.
Mike Trout.
Which is a future Hall of Famer.
He is a future Hall of Famer. Yeah, dude's in. So, all right, you can see Mike Trout. He's in a pretty clear uptrend here. Tag the bottom, top, and he just worked his way sideways. And right now he's at a point where there has been selling that has taken place before, and it is happening again here. Yeah, so
it looks like it's at like 3,500.
Yeah. No, he's 3150 is the last sale because it's dropped off a little bit from this area. So you had this fake breakout and then this move back down to the bottom of the range. And now you're at the top of the range here. So very little reward and a lot of risk if that's how you want to play it. I don't think he pulls back too much if he gets a little pullback. But this is a logical spot to take some profits. And if you're looking to buy, maybe don't do much in this area here. So his PSA 10 is going to cost you 3150. His PSA 9 is going to cost you 1,627. So that's and 1620. So that's a 2-to-1 ratio. We're looking for a 3-to-1 ratio for an advantage here. So I think either the 9 is overvalued or the 10 is going to bust out and make it to the top of this range here around $4,000.
If you're patient, you might wait for it to go $3,000. Or it can go the opposite way and
it's
go
kind of there.
4,000.
Yeah. Well, that's what certainly could happen. 4,000 is kind of your upside, and 3,000 is kind of your downside. Certainly that 3,150 area there. So again, if you're looking to buy, maybe you don't do a ton with it right now. If you're looking to sell, join the party, I suppose. But anyways, yeah. So there's Mike Trout. Let's move on to the R, and that is Luis Roberts. Yeah. So people that bought here. Why not just buy like a PSA 9 Mike Trout? That's what they were going for at the time here. So anyways,
or why don't you just buy at the time right now?
They got crushed, and so you've had this long basing pattern here, and we're starting to see these prices move up just a little bit. And so sellers or buyers are quicker to come in and buy this card. Each time sellers come into the market. So I would imagine this breaks out, and you start to see. This isn't about valuation or anything like that. I wouldn't pay this for Luis Robert at all. But if you are looking for a high-grade Luis Robert example, this is probably a decent spot to start picking it up because it looks like it probably breaks out and it makes its way up to like a $200 card. If he has a good spring training, maybe that's the catalyst. I think that price is nuts, so I'm not doing anything with it. How about you?
I feel like I still wouldn't buy it at 200, but when I get more money, I probably will.
We've got a whole stack of raw ones. I don't think we need to buy a graded one. One of those is probably a 10, right?
That is a 10.
That is a 10. Well, that's the 10. That's what you pay for a 10. So, all right, there's Luis Robert. If you're looking to buy, it looks like he's going to bust out here. So we'll see how that goes, and we'll check in next week and see if that call is worth anything here.
It could go down to 100, or it could go up to 300.
Exactly. If it breaks down out of this, then yeah, you're looking at $100 or something like that. But it looks like as these prices compress, what you usually see is a little pop there. So
good pop up.
Exactly. The B, Mookie Betts.
Future Hall of Famer?
Future Hall of Famer. He's certainly on the track, no question about it. He's got to put in some more time, but his card is being priced like it here, so that's about a $600 card right now. And
big spike in the middle at like $800,
yeah.
But now it goes way down.
Right.
And then it goes back up to that level, but a little bit lower down to like 600.
If you're patient, you don't have to chase these spikes here. They can go on for a while. There's no question about it, but they'll come back to some level.
Can go on for a while.
That's right. They can come back to a much reasonable point after a while here. So anyways, you had kind of this consolidation, and here's a lot more buying, so that's more of a sustainable price here. And then when it kind of broke this downtrend here, in the longer term, his trend is up. So there's no question about that. But then you saw just a couple of sales to push it back up to this level here, and now you're seeing profits come off again here. So if you shoot below that, call it the $600 level where it's at right now, then you probably do see prices come back down. So I'd say Mookie Betts is probably the top end of its range. His PSA 10 will go for about $600. His PSA 9's $200. So that's a nice 3-to-1 ratio, which is what you kind of see in these cards here. And I don't think there's there's not an advantage either way. There's no what you would kind of call like an arbitrage or something like that. Not really, but I don't know how else to phrase it right off the top of my head here. But anyways, Mookie Betts, kind of at the top of the range. So here's your reward and here's your risk. And I don't know if I do a ton about that right now, but long-term Hall of Famer. So probably keep an eye on it because you probably should have one of his cards, right? You think? Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. All right. Let's go to the E, and that is Mr. Eloy Jimenez. This is one of my favorite young players here. So
when I first saw his card, I thought it was Eloy Jimenez.
Right. The J is silent.
I thought it was.
So yeah, exactly. So Yashi Ames.
And when I heard the Jimenez, I was like, "Does this?"
It's very smooth. It's very smooth.
Does it start with an H?
You would think. So no, it's a J is an H. So yeah, like Yashi Ames or for Houston and all those guys. So just kidding, Josh James. All right, bad joke. Anyways, we looked at this card last week here, and what we had saw was it kind of hit the top of the range in what we talked about Fibonacci, and you're looking for kind of a halfway to 2/3 retracement, and we got that of the previous move. So there we were, and then you saw buying step in here. So now you're just kind of ping-ponging around in this area here. So if you're looking for an Eloy, your risk is this area, and your reward is that area, and you should be looking for it anyway. This is like a 285 hitter with 40 home runs. That's a beast of a player there. So pretty interesting spot to pick up an Eloy right now. His PSA 10 is about $80. His PSA 9 it's about $25. So there's not an advantage either way. Just kind of go with what your pocketbook tells you to do. All right, moving on to the A. And that
is Ronald Acuna.
Ronald Acuna, yeah. So he had this big spike here, which you don't have to chase, and it pulled its way back down into this range. And now it's technically a downtrend, but we liked it a lot in this area here, and he's been spiking here. So he's able to kind of clear these tops, and I think he makes his way back up to this area here, and eventually kind of breaks out. So it's not like you don't have to come back to this. You don't, just because you're not chasing this doesn't mean it doesn't come back to that level at some point. You just want to maybe buy it lower. So his PSA 10 is $185. PSA 9 is $55. So I'm looking for his PSA 9 to still kind of make its way into that $60, $65 range. So I think there's still a little more upside for the PSA 9. It has outperformed in this recent run here, but it looks like Mr. Acuna for the time being has put in a bit of a bottom and making his way to the top of the range.
That big Mount Everest up to $350 went down to like $150, but right now it is upwards of $250.
For sure. I mean, these can keep going for a while too. When you have these big spikes, I mean, they can just keep going. So if you say, I would say, don't chase it here. But look, it kept going.
Don't you mean Mount Everest?
Mount Everest, yeah. But if you're patient, then it usually more often than not gives you a chance to come back down to this area here. So, all right, what was that? That was the A. So we're looking for the S.
And that is Soto.
Who else would you pick, right? So
Juan
Soto again. Defined uptrend here. Yeah. So you had this compression here as the buyers came in quicker and quicker.
You could do Corey Seager.
We could, but let's do Juan Soto.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. He had this breakout and it kind of gave you a little chance back in here, and then the big monster spike. It's like, all right, don't chase, get a better chance, and you got a better chance, and so it's held this longer term trend here. This was a decent bottoming pattern where we were saying, if you're looking for Soto, yeah, absolutely. So this is where when you have these nice rounded bottoms, that's just where buying is starting to pick up. The breakout to the top of the range, and bottom? Yeah, so this is where we said, hey, you've revisited this area before where sellers, where people that bought are like, got my money back, I want out. You shouldn't want out, but if you have a ton of these, you want to take some profits, so it makes sense. And you got a little bit of a pullback, not much of one, and he's kind of grounding. And then he's putting in some high. It seems like there's a lot of interest in this 280 to 300 area. If he just keeps doing what he's doing, then you treat that as your floor. If it goes below this, and then you probably drop back down to this 250 area or something like that. So, but for now, that's your bottom, and his prices would say maybe $400, $450 if he keeps doing what he's doing. So PSA 10 is 300, PSA 9 is 100, 3-to-1 ratio, no advantage to either anymore. So when this was a $250 card, his PSA 9 was selling for $60, and that was there was some upside now, but that ratio has corrected itself. So what do you think?
I think that's a lot of volume.
It's a lot of volume. Well, everyone wants a Soto, and there's a lot of them out there too. So if he keeps it up, you should keep going. And we'll finish up with the T in Mr. Beast, and that is Fernando Tatis Jr. And so you had your compression and your big breakout, and the prices returned to a more natural level here. So
another Mount Everest, then goes down into the skateboard park.
Couple of people made it up to here. It only takes a few sales to do this. Then you had a lot of buying in here, and so then you had your compression and your breakout back up to this area.
A lot of people wanted to skate in the skateboard rink.
Exactly. So a big launching pad. So then you return to this level where these people are like, oh my gosh, I got lucky. And you're knocked back down to here. So we'll see what happens with this card. Again, you're kind of in the middle of the range here, so we'll see if it makes its way back down to here. Then you buy, but you may see some buying start to pick up in this area. It could continue to make its way down. We'll see how that goes, and we'll monitor it for you. Check in with us every Friday or Saturday, and we'll do that. But for now, with Fernando Tatis, tread lightly if you already have them. You want to trim a little. This is kind of a decent area if you want to pick them up. I would say see what happens on that. So, all right, let's rapid fire through the rest of these here. Tatis, PSA 10, 235, PSA 9, $85. So PSA 9 is maybe a little overvalued. So don't go that route if you're trying to get away with
PSA
something.
PSA 10's at 350 or was.
It was, and now it's not.
It's like 250 now.
Exactly. Alex Bregman, very strong uptrend here. We like him. Think he can do something. Probably makes its way to these highs. Top of the range coming off just a little bit here. Let's see if he can get to this and break out with a good season. He should be able to do that.
And I thought Alex Bregman was cheating, though.
Yeah, but he was good before cheating. His home road splits, he was better on the road. So the cheating may not matter a whole lot here, and I think he can get back at it.
He's probably going to do better, but since he doesn't have AJ Hinch anymore.
Exactly. Vladdy Guerrero. So he had a monster run here. It took a while, but he revisited those highs, and they came off just a little bit. So this was another player that we were liking, and I think there's still an opportunity. So he's right at these highs here. So this is the no number in a PSA 10. And the PSA 10 is going for about $175. Looks like it's closer to $200 now. There might be some recent sales just added to this. And the PSA 9 is still around $50. So I think that there's still some upside to the $65, $70 area in the PSA 9. So if you want to go that route. But this was your area to do it. And now you're at the top of the range. So it could break out. Someday it probably will, but I would say right now here's your risk here's your reward, and here's all of your risk. So not touchable right now. PSA 9, I think there's some value, but in that one maybe not so much. All right, blind reveal time, Tom. I have player A, 28 years old. So here's the statistics. You don't know who they are. You tell me if you want which one you'd rather have. 28 years old, 276 average, 232 home runs, 668 RBI, 900 OPS, 138 weighted runs created, 36 WAR, 1 MVP, 6 All-Star games, and his PSA 10 is $60. Player B, 28 years old as well, 301 average, 155 home runs, 509 ribbies, similar OPS, weighted runs created, similar, WAR, a couple more WAR accumulated so far, 1 MVP, 4 All-Star games, and you're going to pay around $650 for his PSA 10.
I feel like they're both in the National League because these are very good players.
What, American League doesn't have good players?
I mean, they do, but National League has some betters.
Well, hey, all right. But which one would you rather have? Looking at those two, similar stats. You can pay. You want a card? You want the guy for 60, or do you want the guy for 600?
The player A has just less money, but he has almost better stats.
Similar stats. That's what I'm saying. Similar stats. It's kind of a no-brainer. Which one you'd be buying now, right?
I'm gonna go with player A.
Absolutely. Player B is Mookie Betts, who we already covered. Player A is Bryce Harper.
Okay, that was a...
Exactly. Bryce Harper is pretty range-bound here, and they're giving you a shot at the bottom of the range. So this is where we got one and had this, and if I was a seller, sure, I would have probably knocked off in this area here. I'm going to look to buy another one if they stay in that $60, $70 area. And if you don't have a Bryce Harper, look at his track. I think they're giving you a steal of an opportunity here. So I don't think I have any numbers on his stuff because it's a $60 card, so we don't care about the PSA 9 on this one, though. So scope that one hard if you are so inclined. All right, we will look at Clayton Kershaw. So we did a pitcher thing this week, and we'll just follow up a little bit on Clayton Kershaw. He kind of came up to this area here and started to tag off. So he could probably come back down to that $700 area. So right now his last sale reading my notes here. It's about $770. PSA 9 is about $327. So it's about a 2.3 to 1 ratio, and
it looks like it's at like $800 right now.
Yeah. So the PSA 9 is actually a little bit overvalued. So yeah, I'd wait on Clayton Kershaw if that's what you're looking for, because you might get a shot back down in this area here. But the longer term trend is definitely
he
up.
might get it to 700.
He might. Francisco Lindor was one that we looked at last week and said, don't chase these, get a little bit of pullback. You're getting a little bit of a pullback, but not much of one here. So we'll kind of see if he makes his way back. This could be the new range here. I mean, that's just maybe what you have to pay. Maybe $300 is probably, that's probably
and right now it's
more what you're gonna pay for. I mean, face it, the guy's on a Hall of Fame track, and now he's in a big market, so there's just gonna be more demand on this one. So
that right now it shows that he's probably on a Hall of Fame track at $400.
Well, it's not about the card price. It's more like that's reflective of the track that he's on.
Or it's more like
anyways,
he's good,
hopefully we
save
save people $50 on that one. Looking for something a little bit deeper, but you may not get it. So anyways, below this area, yeah, you will get it, but it's holding until it doesn't. So that's Francisco Lindor. His PSA 10 is $371. PSA 9 is $100. So there's probably room for the PSA 9 to catch up if indeed this is the price. And I think we'll wrap it up with we got two more here. Manny Machado, you had the big spike here, back down to this level. Now you're back up to this level. And we said, you know what? This is where selling probably takes place, back down to, if you get to $80, sell, buy one, and if you get down to $60, buy two. So $80, hopefully bought one, and now we're putting in some new highs, and it's getting a little bit sticky here.
At 120.
But yeah, and honestly, I think Manny Machado is probably a $250 card considering what he's doing. If he has a good year with the Padres, which probably should, then I think you do see a double out of him. So
because he has amazing players on his team,
and he's an amazing player as well. So we'll see what happens with this one. But this is not where you buy it here. So your reward is non-existent and your risk is all of this. I don't know if you get another shot at this one though. But if you get it down to $100, it's probably where you're gonna. That's probably your next best shot at a Manny Machado.
Because he has Fernando Tatis and he has Trent Grisham on his team.
Yeah, absolutely. Last one here, Justin.
Fan.
For sure. Justin Verlander. And, you can see this is a pretty defined range here. Top, bottom, top, bottom.
Gonna be the Hall of Fame. Gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I agree. So, top of the range probably pulls back in this $250 area if you're looking for a Justin Verlander. PSA 10, $371. PSA 9, $100. Never mind. That's Lindor again here. I didn't write down what Verlander is, so it's pretty cheap. I think it's I want to say it's $70 or $80 for a Verlander, so that's actually pretty cheap. It's like a 4-to-1 ratio. So I think there's a lot of upside in the PSA 9, but the 10 probably comes back down just a little bit on that one. And we will end it with Hank Aaron. Great player, great person, and it's sad to see all these greats go, but that's the greatest right there. So it's always that's a tough one.
Some say it's Babe Ruth, some say it's Hank Aaron. And I say that they're both equal.
Absolutely. Can't go wrong either way. So, all right. Appreciate your time and have a great rest of the day.
Bye.
Bye.